Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So today we'll be looking at why Poland is the safest country in Europe. Ooh, I can't wait to check it out. If you're new here, hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Christiana. Kindly subscribe to join the family and trust me, you're in the right place. So guys, let's dive right into the video.
Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about a few controversial things, so buckle up. I wanted to share some of my unfiltered thoughts on why I believe Poland is so safe.
Because there is zero terrorist attacks in Poland. Because there is no illegal migration in Poland.
True.
Juncker, the Commission.
Very true. There is zero terrorist attack in Poland and also no illegal migration. That's very true. What a wonderful place to live. Let's continue watching, guys.
Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. This is why Poland is so safe. I care about my family and about my country.
Now, nobody else wants to listen, but I love how Poland is proving it by action, and they're not afraid to not bend a knee and to stand up for what they truly believe in. That, I think, is something to be respected. I think the media likes to twist words a lot and conflate illegal immigration with legal immigration, and this is an issue that I have with America as well. I am a son of an immigrant. My parents migrated to the US, but they did so legally, and it frustrates me when people say you are racist if you are anti-immigration. No, I'm pro-legal immigration, but anti-illegal immigration. But it seems like those two get mixed up. I'm pretty sure they do that on purpose to try to confuse people, so that if you say that you're anti-immigration, you're labeled as a racist. But it goes a lot deeper than that. So I think we have to reflect on Poland's history first to understand why they are the way that they are and why they think the way that they do. For 120 years, this country was wiped off the map, and they didn't get their country back until 1918. They had it for maybe 2 decades until they were invaded again in World War II by Germany and then Russia, and then they had Soviet rule in this country up until 1989. It's understandable why Polish people are so hesitant to outsiders, and I've made this observation. They see foreigners as either an invader or an ally. Thankfully, as an East Asian person, we are considered allies. There has been a Vietnamese population here in Poland since the 60s who have done a really good job of maintaining our good reputation. They integrate extremely well into Polish society. Vietnamese people, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, all of us Asians, we have a very positive reputation here. And if you look at my comment section, Polish people will say they never had a negative experience with us, so we're almost like the model immigrant here in Poland. I've heard a lot of Polish people have issues with the Ukrainians being in their country, to be honest, and I'm not gonna get into that topic. But if you come from an African nation, or specifically the Muslim nations, you are seen as an invader. And I don't think that this is a problem, to be honest, because there's so much evidence of it going on in Western Europe right now. When I saw the riots going on in the UK and how it was straight up a race war between the British people who are fighting to protect their homeland versus literally like Muslim people in their country. It's a complicated situation because a lot of these Muslim people were also born in the UK. So I guess they are also considered British people, just like I would be considered American. And this is what happens when you let in a bunch of unchecked immigration for a couple of generations. You're naturally going to have a big conflict of ideas. So a common word that seems to be tossed around nowadays is racist or Islamophobic. You see a lot of that in the European Parliament. You see a lot of that in the US when you talk about this topic of immigration. But something I really respect about Poland is that they're not afraid to say no. They would rather take the fine than give up their values of letting these refugees into their country. Seems like they're one of the only countries left in the world that have any form of backbone. So I have no problem with Muslims individually. I think they're great people. I respect the religion a lot. I think fundamentally Islam is a peaceful religion, but I have a big problem with any religious group in general, specifically with Islam, because the religion is so tied to every aspect of their life. A lot of people in religious settings like to use a religion as a shield to refuse to compromise on certain things with their life. And this is something I experienced personally with my last marriage, which is why I had to leave. Every time I asked my ex-wife for us to compromise on something or to see things my way, she would refuse to do it because her religion did not allow her to do that, and she had to follow what God was telling her to do. So when you deal with people like that, where religion is such an integral part of their life, it's very hard for those people to integrate into their society because the religion tells them that they don't have to. It was always weird to me that most Islamic nations are so intolerant to any other religion coming into the country, like Christianity or Catholicism or Buddhism, and that's totally societally acceptable. But then when the reverse tries to happen, where Christian nations refuse Islam coming into their country, then all of a sudden they get labeled all of these names. So imagine going into somebody's house, telling them how to run that house, and when they disagree and tell you to get out, you call them racist or bigoted. That doesn't make any sense, right? It's their home, it's their rules. I'm very aware that I am a guest in this country, so it's my responsibility as a guest to follow the rules, integrate into society, and not try to change things because I am not a part of this nation. Something I've also been thinking about is like, why don't these immigrants go to other Arab nations, like the richer ones, like UAE or Qatar? Doesn't it make sense to go to another Arab nation with the same religion, the same values, the same kind of infrastructure? But why are they so intent on coming to Europe specifically? And I think it's because of the European way of life is generally a lot better. It's a lot safer here. It's a lot cleaner. It's because of the European values. But unfortunately, a lot of people from certain places around the world have no interest in European values or Western values. They want to come, enjoy all of the benefits, but not integrate into society. And unfortunately, Islam and a lot of Western countries have values that are so inherently in conflict with each other, so it's almost difficult for us to coexist. And that's why you can see in countries like the UK right now, they're having a war of ideas with the people who are naturally there and people who have been passed down from generations of immigrants. So let's be real. The main reason that a lot of these European countries are safe and why a lot of Asian countries are safe is because we are homogeneous societies. This is exactly how the Scandinavian countries were before they let in all these immigrants. And I don't think it's a coincidence that there's a correlation between their open door policy versus the rise in crime and gangs growing in their country. The interesting thing about Poland is that when I say homogenous, it's not necessarily on a basis of race, but it's more on a basis of culture and ideas. If we look at Polish history, they were a bunch of tribes that were constantly shifted around due to war and invasions. Polish people is more about an idea and a flag that they're under rather than all being like white. People say that Poland is racist. That's kind of unfair because it's more like Polish people are actually extremely welcoming to you if you come in, obey the laws, integrate into society, and follow the rules. And if you learn the language, you understand and appreciate the history, then you can integrate extremely well into the society. The problem is when specific immigrants come into societies and refuse to integrate. Poland has a problem with that, and I think that's totally justified. I think every country in the world has the right to put their citizens first, and this is actually a big frustration that I have with my own country, the United States, right now. It doesn't make sense to me that we're sending all this money to foreign wars that have nothing to do with us, and it's the American taxpayer that suffers as a response. It doesn't make sense to me that we've seen this huge uptick in illegal immigration into our country, and these people get housing, these people get food stamps and resources, and these people almost get prioritized over American citizens themselves. How does that make any sense? It's so refreshing to see a country put its citizens first, and that's exactly how it should be. So how has my experience been here in Poland? Honestly, it's been overwhelmingly positive. This is a place where I can consider myself staying for the long term because I would love to raise a family in Poland. It's so amazing when I see kids playing in the park until late, like 8 to 10, 11, 12-year-olds without any supervision. I see these kids getting on public transportation by themselves because there's a general understanding that this country is so safe and nothing will happen to them. I personally feel really connected to this country because, yes, on my YouTube channel, of course, I get some negative comments here and there, but the vast majority of my comments are extremely positive, extremely welcoming. They're happy to see more Asian people here in Poland because Asians are highly respected here. And even the videos where I criticize Poland, it's met with a lot of positivity because I understand the culture, I've learned about the history, and I do it in a way that's respectful, but ultimately because I want Poland to improve. Safety has no price in my opinion. I've lived in Colombia, I've lived in the US. When I was worrying about my safety all the time, I feel like it strains your mental health so much and you're just constantly stressed about it. But when you live in a truly safe nation, you just feel a lot more at peace, and to be honest, I feel a lot more free. Like, people talk about how the US is so free, but if you're not free to walk around at night, go into parks because you're afraid something is going to happen, if you feel like you have the need to carry a weapon, are you really living in a free society? I don't think so. I do think it's fair to say that because I come from East Asian descent that I'm treated differently compared to some of the other foreigners. I have some friends from Africa, from Jamaica, and they've all had overwhelmingly positive experiences here in Poland too. And it just comes to show that as long as you follow these 4 things, you can become Polish. Work hard, respect your neighbor, follow the rules, and don't be a dick. And then you're Polish. Let me know what you think down below. Peace.
Wow. Work hard, respect your neighbor, follow the rules, and don't be a dick. That's amazing. Poland deserves it. What a wonderful place to live or visit. I'm proud of Poland's effort to maintain safety. That was beautiful to watch. I really enjoyed it. Seriously, I can't wait to visit Poland. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and thank you guys so much for watching it with me. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.